Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Cam Jennings, aka. Uh, Sorry, guys. It's cold out here. Not as cold as it was yesterday, but it's still pretty cool. Anyways, this is Cam Jennings, guys, coming at you on behalf of EpicConversions.com. Hope you guys are doing amazing out there. Today, I want to talk to you about being tested. Now, look. Before I get into this, I want to remind everybody, get over to EpicConversions.com, join my email list. Alright? I put my best free content out by email. I email my list 3 to 6 times a week. And that's where you want to be if this content resonates with you at all. So, anyways, I want to talk about being tested today. Sorry guys. I'm walking into the wind, so it's tougher. It's snowing out here. It's cold. Anyways, not as cold as it was yesterday though. Anyways, so what I found throughout my online marketing career is that whenever you try to reach another level, whenever you try to change the lane that you're currently swimming in or currently driving in, however you want to see it, whatever analogy you want to use, what I've found is that, like, whether it's God, whether it's the universe, whatever you believe. I'm a Christian, but I don't try to, push my beliefs on other people. Believe what you want to believe. But what I found is that the universe, I call it the universe. I don't know. I'm a Christian, but it doesn't feel like it's God. It kind of just feels like it's the laws of nature or something. As weird as that sounds. But anyways, I know this all sounds hokey, but I'm gonna get it out just to let you know. Take it however you want to take it. Do with it what you will. But anyways, as I move forward in my online journey over all these years, whenever I was trying to advance to a higher level at anything, there's always some kind of pushback. There's always like these tests. I call them tests. Universe pushing back, puts tests in your face. I tell you what, since I've been doing these walks, and I know this isn't exactly related to business, but it reminds me of tests I face with business. Well, since I've been doing these walks, try to improve my physical health, I've been faced with several tests. And I've only been doing this for maybe 12 days. But I tell you, in these last couple weeks, I faced several tests. Having back pain, it just comes out of nowhere, making me feel like, oh, maybe I shouldn't walk. Just walk through it anyway. Weather. Of course, it is January in Ohio, so that makes sense, but there's been weather, and the weather's just been, a lot of snow and stuff like that. Cold weather, making you not want to do it. And this last test that I'll tell you about is kind of personal, but I'll tell you about it anyway. So I used to walk all the time, like 10 years ago, like I'd be walking all the time, and I'd walk everywhere, man. I'd go to the park and walk. I'd go all over the place and walk. I'd go to the mall and walk. I'd go everywhere and walk just to get some exercise in. So this one time, I went to the park, and I actually wasn't going there to walk. This time I was going there to record a training, like a kind of like a podcast type training. And it was a weird thing because I parked in a parking lot at the park There wasn't really anyone else around. It was, probably the winter time. It was cold or whatever. And I don't remember what time of year it was. But anyways, I'm starting to record this podcast, and just for whatever reason, I look over, and like the way the parking lot is, it's like a single row parking lot, and it faces the water at the beach. So it's just basically it's this perfect little row of parking where you can just pull in and just watch the sunset at the beach. It's pretty cool. But anyways, so I was parked there facing the water, and then for whatever reason, I look over to my right, and for whatever reason, there's a car like parked, like parallel, like facing me, like it's just pointed right at me. And there's a guy sitting there in his driver's seat, and he's just staring at me with like a death stare, and I'm like, now my first instinct is to like get out and go knock on this guy's window and like confront him and be like, hey, what do you want, dude? Because the parking lot's empty. It's just me and this guy who's parked like right next to my van staring at me. And I'm like, what is the deal? So I was gonna get out and go confront him, but then I thought, wait, what if this dude's got a gun? So I don't. I just keep on looking at him, and he just keeps on looking at me. So I raise my hands up like this. I just raise my hands up like, what, dude? What do you want? Right? And then he just keeps on looking at me, and then he slowly like starts his car, and he creeps on off behind my van, and he creeps on out of there. So I don't know. It's a big, long, drawn-out story. I don't want to go into it too much. The point is, it ended up being a situation where I was getting followed by this individual, because he left and then he circled back around and he came back, and it just seemed really, really weird. I didn't know what was going on, so I decided I was gonna leave, and this dude was following me. Kind of like freaked me out a little bit. So I sped up faster. This dude sped up faster. Eventually, I ran a red light just to get away from this guy. And it was the weirdest experience ever, man. And then, like, I tell you what, it was like a very strange. It was a very strange feeling because, like, I've experienced a lot in my life up until that point, and not a lot rattled me. Like, I had no problem going places by myself. I'm a guy. I don't feel like guys should be afraid to go places by themselves. I never worried about going to the park by myself or walking anywhere by myself. It never bothered me, man. I felt fine no matter where I was at. But after that one particular experience, things were different, right? Like, I didn't want to walk at the park by myself anymore. I was just like, I'll just walk around the block in my neighborhood. You know what I mean? I just didn't, it's not something I talked about, but it was just kind of like something, and it was something I didn't think about either. I didn't think about it, but I will say I noticed that I put myself in positions where that doesn't happen. And then, like, I noticed, like, I don't do those things anymore. Like, I don't just go to the park and record things by myself as much anymore. And when I do that, I will be thinking about that one experience, So, so that happened a long time ago. That was a personal experience that happened a long time. It was weird. It hasn't stopped me from exercising. It hasn't stopped me from doing anything, right? But I needed to tell you that story so you have context for what the test was that I feel like I was experiencing today. So I'm out this morning trying to walk. I see this white SUV, kind of coming up down the road, and it just kind of stops, right there in the middle of the road as I was walking up to it, and then as I'm walking by it, it starts rolling again slowly, and the person in the driver's seat's looking at me, right? So I just give him a look, just kind of looking at him what the hell you want, and I just keep on walking. But then, instantly, that put me back in the frame of mind of that thing that happened all those years ago. So I'm like kind of on high alert. I'm trying to get my walk in, but I'm kind of like on alert too. I'm like looking around at cars and stuff like that. And lo and behold, man, here comes that SUV from the other way now. And it comes back around the other way and it drives back by me like, slow again. So I'm like, I give him a hard, long look this time, kind of like a weird look, kind of like, what the hell you doing, buddy, kind of thing. And they just keep on driving. But after that, now I'm like fully like out of exercise mode and I'm fully into like paranoia mode or whatever. But I'm like, this feels like some kind of a test or something, you know? I feel like this is like the universe pushing back. So I wanted to finish up my walk, right? So this time I double back and go the way I had already came. So I feel like I'll get the same distance in, but I'll just like change my path, change my routine. And I didn't see that car anymore. I finished my routine, and I'm really glad I finished my routine because as I was finishing up, I felt like it was some kind of weird test or something, like some kind of, like all these different little ways, like the universe is pushing back, trying to get me to stop walking, you know what I mean? So I don't know, it's a weird thing, but I think that that's kind of a strange story, but I hope what you can take from it is that it's no different in business. It's no different in business. If you're trying to advance your position, I'm gonna shave this beard, guys. I'm gonna shave this beard once I'm done with my 30-day vegan challenge. I'm doing this 30-day vegan challenge. You can follow that if you want. It's over at The Rock in My Shoe. I got a YouTube channel called The Rock in My Shoe. It's just for, I just set it up for this 30-day challenge. But anyways, if you go to YouTube and type in The Rock in My Shoe, and then you type in like Cam Jennings or whatever, you'll probably find the YouTube channel if you're curious about that. The point is, I'm gonna shave this beard once I get done with this 30-day challenge. But anyways, so yeah, what I was saying was there are pushbacks when you're trying to do business and when you're trying to advance your level, especially if you're just trying to stay in your lane and do the thing you've always been doing. There's not a lot of pushback, but as soon as you try to break through to another level, there's always freaking pushback, man. There's always things that make your life more challenging. It's so strange. I can't explain it. The only reason I believe it so harshly, and the only reason I believe it so adamantly, I should say, is because I've experienced it over and over again over this last decade or so. I just know it. Now I just expect it. I know it's going to happen. And this exercise thing that I'm doing is no different. There's like all this pushback as I try to like improve my health. There's like pushback, the universe trying to like keep me in my lane or whatever. But anyways, I just thought I'd share that with you. So if you're out there right now, and you're experiencing a lot of adversity as you're trying to grow your online business or you're trying to move up to the next level, I just want you to know, man, that's totally normal. The universe is going to push back whenever you try to advance your position in life. I know that sounds very woo-woo. I know that sounds very kind of like, hippie or whatever. I'm not a hippie. I don't consider myself a woo-woo type person. I'm a realist, I like to look at the pros and cons of everything. But on this particular issue, I just happen to know it to be true. As weird as it sounds, and I can't really explain it, but it's definitely a thing. So anyways, take that information, do with it whatever you want to do with it. But if I were you, I'd take it to the bank because experiencing adversity, you're going to get pushed back from the universe. You got to just keep on going. You got to push on through if you want to succeed. Because if you crumble every time you experience adversity, like you're never going to succeed at anything. Because there's always going to be like this pushback from the universe every time you want to advance your position. At least that's how it's been for me. Maybe other people have different experience, but in my experience, like it's always there. So anyways, that's all I got today. I'm going to get inside and get warm. Hope you guys are doing amazing. Enjoy your Sunday. And I'll see you for another one tomorrow. All right, peace.